Scott Hensley here once again with David Pierce for the TWE Post Show Recap. This is the third edition. We haven't been canceled yet, so that's good. Yeah. I just wanted to, we're going to do a couple different things this time. Hopefully the audio is getting better. Pierce, you've worked on that. We're a work in progress.
Yes.
We're going to start it off with quick results. If you want to tune in to the post-show recap and just snap right through it, quick results. Tonight was action-packed. The quick results are Jaden Newman defeated Yaki. Noah Hossman defeated Larryzard. Exotic Youth, Zach Mosley and Cornelius Pepperbottom defeated the Good Sisters, Lizzie and Peyton Blair. We had Big Fundamental Pete Youngblood defeating the Trojan to win a spot in the Scenic City Rumble. Billy Tipton defeated Damian Turner. We had your TWE champion Merck retaining the championship over Cody Manhorn. Nick Iggy defeated Sean Campbell. And in an epic war of a main event, Derrick Neal outlasted and won. He defeated Anthony Henry. So there's your quick results. And now we will hit it match by match. The first match was we got the man himself, Jaden Newman, in action to start off against Yaki. What were your impressions of this match?
Well, I thought it was really good. Good way to open an event, and they were fast, a lot of stuff. That's about what I remember of it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there was so much action tonight, but we don't want you to lose this. Yaki, a really young, up-and-coming guy out of Georgia, and he had a really impressive outing here. He's been seen in tag team action before. He and Larryzard had teamed some, but he's a guy that I've seen down at Action Next Up, and very impressive. He has some innovative offense. He has some good striking, very athletic, and just a real likable guy. But he came in against the most likable guy in the building, Jaden Newman, and for a little while he held his own.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he did. He did hold his own.
Yeah, I mean, the crowd actually, was really getting behind Jaden Newman, and I think that goes to show how much of a fight Terry gave him. Yeah. So good. This may have been a singles debut here for Yaki at TWE. So really impressive, and he got a "Please Come Back" chant. Yeah. So when you're riding in the car on the way home, that's got to feel good to hear that from the fans, and to know that you got in there against somebody like Jaden, who he's being flown around the country at this point, and to hold your own against him for even a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Jaden actually addressed his people here and talked about how much of a crazy schedule he has coming up. So at Action Wrestling down in Tyrone, Georgia, March 4th, he will be wrestling Dominic Guarini. And then the very next day at the Scenic City Rumble, March 5th, Soddy-Daisy High School, Soddy-Daisy, Tennessee. Jaden has a full plate there. He is wrestling AJ Gray for the Bone Storm Championship, and he committed to be in the Scenic City Rumble match itself after Tank said he would be in there.
Yeah, he wanted to meet him. He said he'd meet him a week earlier. Then they're going to have the match on the 11th for ICW No Holds Barred here, but he said he wanted to meet him a week before then.
I mean, what do you think is going to happen if Tank and Jaden Newman collide in the Scenic City Rumble match?
Wow. It's the Scenic City Rumble, so you have to, it's going to be exciting, and would like to, people are going to be looking for them to meet, especially now. I guess I would say it depends on what if they're like number one and well, they won't be number one, right?
Yeah, Landon Hell's number one.
Landon Hell's number one, but it could depend on how many other people are in there. They might decide to clear everybody out. And,
yeah. I mean, one-on-one, I mean, if you have to throw your opponent over the top rope, advantage Tank. But I think Jaden Newman is more likable by his peers. I think he's more liked by his peers. It's every man for himself in there, but when you get a big man like Tank, then everybody wants to get rid of him. And if everybody likes Jaden a little bit better, then maybe advantage Newman, depending on how many people are in there and can help him get Tank out of there.
True.
And Tank isn't shy with his opinions on some of the younger wrestlers sometimes, and with more modern wrestling. So, there may be other people in that Rumble that take, a slight to something Tank has said over the years.
Well, that's, there's bound to be a plethora of people sitting somewhere here and there. Maybe they're thinking back to, I ran into Tank 20 years ago, and I still ain't over it yet, Just hypothetical scenarios.
Well, you never know who will be in the Scenic City Rumble. There are some surprises, I happen to know. But going on to the second match, we got the fan favorite Noah Hossman. We've talked 2 weeks in a row about the new Noah Hossman, the pride of Texas. He comes out smiling. He's smacking hands with kids, high-fiving old ladies or hugging old ladies. And, man, he's having a good time and having good results. He faced Larryzard that we mentioned had previously teamed with Yaki, but Larry's a guy that sort of has a different attitude than I would say Terry has. Larry has a swagger about himself, wouldn't you say?
Well, I'll tell you, he does have a swagger. I mean, they come in at the same weight. Didn't they pretty much? Like maybe 2 to 5 pounds difference.
It was something wacky like that. Larry had our fill-in ring announcer, Patrick Heater, or Hardway Heater, who did a great job tonight. He had him announce him as, I believe, standing in at 6 feet 2 inches tall, and I think it was 205 pounds, which, if you've seen Larryzard, no. There's not 205 pounds there. There's just not. But I think he has 205 pounds and 6 feet 2 inches of confidence.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
But there wasn't much he could do to the big man Noah Hossman. He tried so hard. He valiantly fought, but this was a dominant victory by Noah Hossman.
That it was.
Yeah. So Noah Hossman continues to be a guy at TWE. The guy, I saw something he posted the other day. He's 20 years old. Would you have guessed that?
No.
Yeah. Wise and talented beyond his years. Noah Hossman wins another match here at TWE, continues that. And I think it's because he's having fun now. I think he was getting distracted before. He would come out and have fights in the crowd or argue with people, and he was frustrated and angry the whole match, and he was losing some of those matches, and he lost a hard-fought match with Alex Kane, which was amazing. But if he had had this new attitude, I just wonder how that could have affected him.
Well, it might be one to request a return meeting, perhaps.
Heck of an idea. Again, we aren't the booking committee, but if you're listening, yeah, we'd love to see that one again. Third match, we get tag team action. The Exotic Youth. That's a tag team of Cornelius Pepperbottom. That's two things I never thought I would be saying on camera there. Cornelius Pepperbottom. That's his name. And his partner, Zach Mosley, versus the Good Sisters, Lizzie and Peyton Blair. And we've seen a lot of the Good Sisters here at TWE, always fan favorites, always impressive. And Exotic Youth, they have traveled the Southeast recently in the last year or two and picked up quite a following. I think they had some fans in the crowd despite their attitudes. But what were your thoughts of this tag match?
Well, that was one I was looking forward to, and because it had, Zach Mosley and he announced it earlier, and on his social media, and I thought, yes, I want to see that because two of my favorite tag teams. I've been watching Exotic Youth for maybe about a year and a half, maybe. At first, I saw Zach by himself, and so I'm a fan, and I'm a Good Sisters fan, so I was really looking forward to it. Wasn't disappointed.
Yeah, and the Good Sisters had control of this match for the first few minutes. They were actually able to just sort of neutralize Pepper Bottom, and then the tables turned on them, and Lizzie, I believe, was double-teamed by Exotic Youth, and they showed how well they work as a tag team, and they were able to pick up the victory there. And, it's a big victory to beat the Good Sisters at their house here at TWE.
Yes, indeed. And once again, would love to see a return meeting.
Yeah, we'd love to see that as a rematch. The next match we had Pete Youngblood having an open challenge for a Scenic City Rumble spot. And this was something that I said, yes, if he wants to have a Rumble spot, because he's had a terrible attitude. He's miserable to be around, really. But if he wants to be in the Scenic City Rumble, he's got to open up the challenge to anybody in the back. And this masked guy comes out from Soddy-Daisy, Tennessee. There's no way. And he's wearing a mask, got the big Soddy-Daisy logo on there, and fans cheered for him. Mm-hmm. I wanted to cheer for him. And all of a sudden, Pete Youngblood rolled him up and pinned him 1, 2, 3, and it was Damian Turner. Pete Youngblood with a ringer in an open challenge.
So Mr. Youngblood's in the Rumble now.
Unfortunately,
and
yes.
He doesn't have to be number 1.
Yeah, I mean he's at least 2 or further, so. Good on him, I guess. And he also had some words for Soddy-Daisy High School. He's in here throwing rocks, saying, he will show them what a real champion looks like, and, going after the school for, he's tired of hearing about fundraising or something like that. I mean, he's really throwing some rocks, and, that may come back to bite him. We will see on that. But Pete Youngblood in the Scenic City Rumble. And we said Damian Turner revealed and was the Trojan, the ringer for Pete Youngblood there. But Turner didn't get to leave ringside because Billy Tipton came out. And they've had quite the feud going on, I will say. Damian Turner and Pete Youngblood attacked Billy Tipton previously, and this was Tipton's revenge.
Yeah, well, that was a very good match. And, it was nice to see, Mr. Tipton, having a shot like he didn't have a chance last month or 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he just got.
Yeah, Brogan Finley just polished him right off. I mean, he had no chance after being attacked. So this week we got to see just how impressive and how far Billy Tipton has come along. You called him Mr. Tipton. Maybe it's inspired by that new haircut.
Well, I mean, I'd call him Mr.
Yeah, he's earned Pierce's respect.
Yes, absolutely.
But honestly, he's a guy that the first time I saw him, I was impressed by his effort, but the polish wasn't there. He was a guy that's like, that guy needs some more work. Well, he has gone out and put in the work, and he's still putting in the work. And Billy Tipton is really impressive now. Damian Turner is no slouch, and Tipton picks up a big victory here, and it's not only a victory that counts in the record books, but it's a moral victory when 2 guys beat you up and you get to pin one of them. Heck yeah.
Yeah, very good.
So then we get IWTV producer Dylan Hells coming out to RASSLIN, that's wrestling. And he comes out and he announces big things happening right here at the TWE Arena, live streaming happening for IWTV. He talked about uncharted territory coming every Monday right here at the TWE Arena starting in May. They will be doing a live stream, uncharted territory. This is something that has gone on in the Northeast for, I think this is season 4. So for 3 seasons, they have absolutely made stars and had great matches. And now Actually, because AC Mac won a match to get us uncharted territory. You know, Santa Mac bringing home the sack of presents for us here in the Southeast, the gifts that keep on giving. But we have that opportunity coming right here, which I'm so excited about. And he talked about that. He talked about the events coming up as far as ICW coming right here to this building March 11th, March 12th. And then he announced that for the first time ever, TWE, the home promotion, will be hosting Sink or Swim right here. And I believe that date was June 11th. So a live stream right here from Chattanooga, Tennessee, the Red Bank area here, and live streaming to the world on IWTV. That's so exciting. It really is.
Yes.
And so next up we had the big TWE championship match, Merck versus Cody Manhorn. What were your thoughts on that?
Cody Manhorn, well, he impressed me with the squats initially, right? I got this.
I mean, that part is impressive.
That part impressed me because, good Lord, I ain't gonna be doing them.
Pierce hasn't been doing squats. I mean,
I wouldn't fare any better than the henchmen, and both of them made it to 11, I believe. Got the hamstring cramp up.
It kind of started with shenanigans there. Merck having the henchmen come in and do the squat off, which they failed miserably at. I don't know where he picks up these henchmen, but it's got to be like the dollar store for henchmen or something. I mean, these guys, I don't know anything about them, but I think he can do better. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I can beat him up or anything. I don't want a physical confrontation from the henchmen. But as far as the quality that we see here at TWE, they just seem to get in the way sometimes. But I think there's so many of them that it's just like quantity over quality, maybe.
Well, yeah. I'll try to find a friendlier way to say that, but yeah.
Opinions make enemies. I don't know. Sorry. But, this match, I said it started off with shenanigans, but then, my goodness, it advanced into a serious battle. Cody Manhorn won half of the TWE Tag Team Champions with Aaron Wade, the Squatting Dragons, under the tutelage of Matt Griffin at times here. But a very impressive, exciting, fun, fan-favorite tag team, and two guys that work so hard as young guys in the East Tennessee area, Cody Manhorn, Aaron Wade. But this was Cody's big chance, and the record book will show that he fell short, but I think effort-wise, spirit-wise, I mean, my goodness, the flying headbutts, the way he got up after being kicked in the head, I mean, at least twice, and then, getting dropped on his head at the end there was enough to put him away after more shenanigans from the henchmen.
Well, I will say this for Merck. He did not use the belt this time. In fact, one of the henchmen had the belt for him, and he didn't need it.
One of the cleaner victories for Merck, who uses any means necessary, I guess, as the champion. But as we've talked about for the last 2 weeks, it gets results. And he has a champion's advantage. If he gets disqualified, he gets to take that championship home anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's tradition.
So he's not worried about it. He's going to do whatever it takes, which it's smart. It's not the moral high ground that I would choose or that most of our fans would like to see, but I think they actually have a respect for Merck. He says he represents the TWE faithful, and even through questionable means, I think they accept that.
I believe so. Yes.
We all cheat on the speed limit a little bit sometimes, or don't come to a full stop at a stop sign, maybe. So maybe that's his thing with with his henchmen.
I can see that. I mean, sometimes you never know how long is the yellow light going to hold, right?
Yeah. So then we get Nick Iggy, who you know, my goodness, he comes out with these pigtails on the sides of his head, and he is a big fan of himself.
Well, and he had different music this time, a different song.
But, you know, he's sort of a rock star.
Yes.
I mean, he's a fan of himself, but you can't look at him and discount anything. You know, he's a crazy good wrestler. He has a lot of personality that he uses to his advantage. And he wrestled a guy that is so much fun to watch, has so much spirit to him, so much innovation as well, Shawn Campbell. And Campbell really gave him a run for his money here. And Nick Iggy puts him away after they went into the corner, and Iggy pulled a chain out over the head of referee Kim Skiles, who could not see it. And he decks Campbell and gets the 1, 2, 3. But poor Campbell, I mean, it's not all for him. And there was also the confrontation with Hardway Heater. I mean, it's heated between Heater and Nick Iggy. I mean, Heater, of course, part of KOBK. Shawn Campbell, a part of KOBK now. And, you know, they have a big event coming up right here, May 7th. I believe that's live on IWTV as well. But, you know, they have that bond, the KOBK bond, and Nick Iggy is a huge threat to that. And, you know, Heater, it got heated with Heater and Iggy. I saw Jaden and Dylan Hells come out, and, you know, they got Heater away and calmed down. But that gave Nick Iggy the opportunity to put on a headset and call his own action there. Have you ever seen anything like that?
Not for such a prolonged period. I mean, I've seen The Rock used to do it momentarily, right?
I guess that's true. Yeah.
But no, that was kind of a first.
Any impressions or memories of the Nick Iggy and Shawn Campbell match?
I thought it was very good. Haven't seen Shawn Campbell a whole lot. Made a good showing for himself. But I guess Nick Iggy's clearly the more experienced guy, and his tactics. It's kind of hard to beat both of those with the referee down.
And then Shawn Campbell, it was his night to just be a guy who could not win. After the match of being defeated by Nick Iggy with those questionable tactics with using the chain, then he gets attacked by Kerry Awful and Brian Maxwell. Kerry Awful comes in, and it looks as if he and Nick Iggy are going to have some problems. And then they sort of unite as just openly being scumbags. I mean, I don't know if that's the term they used, but they're not ashamed. And the circus may be back together, the carnies may be back together, and they are certainly uniting to make Shawn Campbell's life hard. And Shawn Campbell is going to have to reach out to his KOBK brothers. Heater's going to have to get healthy from that neck injury. Campbell needs help.
Yes, absolutely. It would appear, I mean, I'm just understating what you just said, but I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, I think Campbell is already sort of an undersized underdog kind of guy, and then you add numbers to it. You add Nick Iggy, who's, a talented veteran. You add Kerry Awful, who's just absolutely sadistic, and, another talented veteran. You get the mouth and the size of Brian Maxwell in there, and my goodness, that's some punishment.
Yes, indeed.
But, another thing that, I sort of noted was they weren't just attacking him physically. They were sort of playing some mind games. Did you catch what they told him?
No, sir.
They told him, they said, forget about Southeast first, which, yeah. But they said, forget about Southeast first. They said Shawn Campbell first. So are they trying to beat some sense into him, or their version of sense into him? Are they trying to get him away from KOBK?
Well, maybe they're just trying to make him think.
I mean, I don't typically give advice to people I don't like. I mean, So, I mean, they want something from Sean Campbell, I think.
I would agree.
Yeah. So we will see what happens there, but Campbell's got to find some help. He's got to make some friends or bring some friends. In the main event, Derrick Neal versus Anthony Henry. What did you think of that war?
Wow. That was some of the shots, you know, that they were putting on one another, man. You know, wow.
Yeah, I mean,
I was impressed.
Two of the true masters of professional wrestling, and two of the, I mean, real just standing kings of Southeast wrestling. You know, Anthony Henry has made a name for himself, you know, beyond the Southeast. You know, Derrick Neal also has traveled to the Midwest and some different areas there. But to have both of those guys, the veterans that they are, you know, both of them are probably at probably around 20 years almost. I think Anthony Henry may have started around 2002 or 3. So, you know, he's right at 20 years, I would say. And, you know, Derrick Neal, another guy, you know, he's probably 18 to 20 years. You know, a protege of Tracy Smothers, and my goodness, you've got to check this match out once it comes out on IWTV. Derrick Neal versus Anthony Henry. I believe it was a first-time meeting, and as you said, the strikes that they were throwing, you know, just the mind games that were played. I mean, what a match. There are no words that we can say to properly talk about how good this match was. Referee Kim Skiles actually knocked down in this match, and
yeah, I was mixed up. She got knocked down in the main event, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, you know, Iggy went over her head on the corner, but she didn't go down. She just had to duck into the corner there. But in that main event, like, she actually got knocked down. And Derrick Neal submitted over here. He said, I quit. But I don't think Kim could tell who was saying it. I don't think she was sort of coherent at that point. You know, if you have a big guy run into you or knock you in the head, you know, Kim is not a big person. And, you know, fortunately, you know, she is okay, but she was not able to make that call at that time. And then Derrick Neal actually capitalizes and puts Anthony Henry away for, you know, a huge victory.
Yes, I'll have to say I was a little bit surprised by that.
Yeah. I mean, on paper you look at the names and you put respect on both of the names, but you sort of give the advantage to Anthony Henry. But not tonight. You know, Derrick Neal showed that, you know, he is the real deal Derrick Neal, and you know, I think that was a name he used to use, but he's definitely, you know, a top-tier competitor in any ring, anywhere, and he showed that tonight.
Very good match, and yes, you definitely want to check that out on IWTV.
So Derrick Neal ends the night by saying, hey, I hate you, you hate me, to the TWE crowd. He says, but when ICW comes right here to TWE Arena on March 11th, he said, I'm Team TWE, and I'm taking on Justin Kyle. And, you know, Justin Kyle is a massive MMA type guy. And so they're going to fight in the pit, TWE versus ICW. And I'm glad that TWE, and, you know, I include myself sort of as a, you know, hanger-on of Team TWE. You know, I'm definitely not fighting in the pit, but just a fan. But, you know, I'm glad to have Derrick Neal on Team TWE. And so, you know, Derrick Neal stressed that, you know, he has taken on some of the biggest and the baddest guys in professional wrestling, and beaten on some of them even. And he's going to fight for Team TWE right here March 11th. The next time that TWE returns right here is March 26th. Pierce, do you have any closing thoughts? The pressure is on.
Well, I'm looking forward to this month. You know, that we're about to enter into March. It'll probably, well, I mean, it's Tuesday, March 1st. Well, I was getting ahead of myself. I'm already looking forward to got Scenic City Rumble, got ICW No Holds Barred, 2 nights, and then we've got the return 2 weeks later right here, TWE back again on the 26th.
Yep, and already advertised for March 26th. Jaden Newman had advised that it is Iron Week for Brutal Bob Evans. And so Brutal Bob Evans, Jaden Newman in an Iron Man match. And they're going to do that for charity, I believe. They're trying to raise some money with that match. The last time Brutal Bob was in the house, it was a heck of a battle. And so looking forward to Jaden Newman versus Brutal Bob. And I believe that's all we have. Pierce, anything else?
Well, I mean, if anybody would like to take me to see Sepultura in Birmingham, also in March, I couldn't think of anything else.
All right, that was your plug. I'll do my plug and close us out here. March 5th, it's a Saturday. Next Saturday, the upcoming Saturday, Soddy-Daisy High School, the Scenic City Rumble. I believe this is the 4th ever Scenic City Rumble. We are raising money for Soddy-Daisy High School Athletics. Tickets are available at scIwrestling.com or available at the door. 7 big matches. We hope to see you there. I'm Scott Hensley. This is David Pierce, and this has been the TWE Post Show Recap.